Hi, this is JJ DiGeronimo, the president of Advancing Women in STEM, Tech-Savvy Women, and Purposeful Women. And today I'm here with Steve Hill. He is the International Association for STEM Leaders, STEM Economic Development and Community Engagement Leadership Award recipient. Steve, tell us a little bit about the work that you do.
Well, basically I'm a hybrid. I work from a workforce development platform that I work all the way back in the K-12 education. We're doing something a little bit new here, which is instead of just placing want ads, we're trying to get companies in the area to understand, to get involved with their K-12 systems, their community college and university, to create a pathway for these students. And really what we're encouraging them to do is create a just-in-time model and a grow-your-own model combination. What we find is that when we do a kind of like a Lean Six Sigma model with these companies, which is an efficiency model that companies go by, and we actually did take a day and do this work. We found that if you only start recruiting at the community college, most of those people are actually receiving some kind of remediation work. And on the other side of that, they're retraining. So obviously that's not where you need to stop looking at. So if you go back into high school, you'll find that your spike dropout year and lack of interest is 9th grade. So we try really hard to get companies to look at the foundational piece of it, at least being at middle school. And we think we can give them to wait 5 to 7 years for that.
That's a great point. And so how do you make it relevant for the student, and how do you make it relevant for the corporation?
Well, what we try to get them to understand is that you've got to do hard work to get great results. Just placing a want ad and complaining that you're not getting the workforce you need is not enough. We get companies now to get involved all the way back to that K-12. So their win, or the win-win here for the student and the employer, is basically the employer starts to influence the curriculum. And they have input in what's being taught in school. Then they start doing internships with the students, and then they start doing apprenticeship type programs. Next thing you know, you've got a every year coming out 20 to 30 person pool that you can immediately pick from. That's going to give you a quality workforce. One of the local studies here with our largest company in the area, FRC East down in Craven, they employ more than 3,100 people regularly and thousands of other contractors. They have found that they can consistently have a pool of employees coming in every year to pick from that they had influence on, and it gets them to a zero attrition rate, and it actually is saving them almost around $50,000 an employee in training. The big factor there is that the employees stay. They often complain about having to pull people in, especially in rural counties. They have to go out and recruit people from out of state. The problem with that is that they stay here 2 or 3 years, get the training that they need, and then they go back home to where their families are at or wherever the larger jobs are at, and you just do away a lot of money. So the win here for the employer is, yes, there's commitment. Yes, you have to get more involved, but yes, you're going to save money in the end. The wonderful thing for the student is, I'm entering 9th grade. Why am I in school? It's going to answer that question I'm sure you asked when you were in high school, and I did. Why am I doing this? And very, very few teenagers can understand delayed gratification. But if you say to them from the employer, if you'll do this for me, I will put you in a job 4 years from now. You know what? They respond to that. And the parents do too.
That is really fabulous. And it really looks like you're going after economic development in a way that aligns not only the workforce, but aligns to a workforce that, the United States has said that we're going to have such a deficit in, which is the STEM. So what will international STEM certification do for your programs and your recipients in the community?
Well, it gives us a tool to align all this work with other organizations. I mean, the key here is not to have splinter programs everywhere, but to everybody align their arrows in the same direction. And I think that's going to be a key piece for that to happen. It's going to give you something that's larger than one person. So that as administrations change and people retire, we all still maintain that same focus on the goal.
That's awesome. Thank you, Steve, so much for your perspective and sharing all the great work you're doing across STEM and economic development. We really appreciate your insight and your best practices.
Thanks a lot. Had a good time.